Forever. Dog.
It does look like we got McDonald's after church.
This is not a McDonald's yellow.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a
Listener,
special day.
if you want my shirt, write in because I'll be
Mac-
getting rid of it.
Mac, you sat still at church. You sat still and you did
I used
so
to actually
well.
cry
Now
at
you
church.
get a little treat.
So now we're going to go get you some chicken nuggets at
Yeah.
McDonald's. No?
Or whatever you want. A Happy Meal?
What do you want?
I want
You
to
want a
leave
shake?
church.
You want a McFlurry? We're leaving. You want a McFlurry?
We're leaving. I want to talk about grooming.
Grooming cannot be the running joke in this episode.
You guys think this shirt is too girly?
No, it's so cute. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's so cute. It's like
It's kind of
spring.
girly.
It's a
A little bit, but
It's
it like
a little
looks
bit
really
girly.
cute on you. Yeah.
It's girly.
Usually I go for like tighter sleeves because look how small my arms look right now. Danny, censor my arms.
No, you look so cute.
This
It's
bit
giving.
girly
You
for
know what
me.
it's giving to me? It's giving
it's the
like
edge.
it's giving. It's giving.
It's
pretty
girly.
in the way that boys are pretty.
That's
know,
what my
I-
girlfriend always says.
I don't think
Thanks,
so. I
guys.
think it's just girly. I think it actually looks like your parents dressed you up for church.
Mac, I think you look cute.
Did I come
Maybe
too
I
hard?
should change.
Did I come too hard?
That's what she said.
Are you insecure about how hard you came?
Did I come too hard?
Ashley, what the fuck? Should I change?
Someone take this podcast away from us. Like now we're too comfortable.
I'm gonna ask my girlfriend what she thinks. That's the only opinion that matters.
I think it's cute. I think you look cute.
I think it's too girly, dude.
We'll see.
Look, if you ask me, I'm going to give you an honest answer.
Girly.
Hi guys, how are you? How is everybody?
How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. I'm good.
Okay.
How about you, Ashley? Something you want to say?
Ashley
Something
coming
you got
way
on
too
your
hard.
mind?
I'm posting a video right now, and I'm anxious I'm going to get a community guideline violation.
Because you
On what?
talk about coming too hard?
I talk about coming too hard. No.
The first 30 seconds of this, like, we don't usually come this hard in the first 30 seconds.
This
is coming way too-
I don't like it when you say it. Nope, cut. I don't like
You
it.
don't like it how I say it because I'm the baby on the well, no, I'm not.
Yes.
Well,
wait, continue.
no.
What was that?
This is a
Oh,
no,
what-
time out.
sorry, one more
This is a
time?
Chosen Family podcast, and I'm not the baby, but mommy thinks I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
Mac
I'm actually
baby.
the hot teenage brother here on this Chosen
This is
Family
the one
podcast.
You're
thing
so
that your
close,
father
Matt,
and I
but
agree
before-
on.
Before introducing yourself, you need to describe the format of the podcast, because now it just
I was trying to
sounds
go
like
sub 3. This is a Chosen Family podcast. Every week we gather on the dinner table. The dinner table.
dinner table. A gay dinner
Holy
table.
crow!
Sorry.
A gay dinner table.
My girlfriend texted me and I got distracted. No, you look so cute.
See?
Are you gonna film something? Can I call? Or is it pod time?
She should call anyway.
Pod time. I would love
Tell
for
her
to
that I
call.
think you look gay.
You look gay, bro. That shirt is
I do
gay.
kind of look like a gay boy.
We
Yeah, that's
answered
Not that a
you
gay
are.
boy
Like,
looks
that's
any
what I'm
specific
saying.
way.
You look pretty like the way that boys are pretty. You look very
like a fucking
twinky.
twink.
Yeah,
look
a
twink.
Twinky.
You don't
winky.
you don't
Linky.
look like a straight boy being femme. You look like a gay boy being femme.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You do. Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Mac, how do you want to look? What are you hoping to achieve?
I am pretty boy toy
Yes.
player.
Yes. Not player. Nah, now we've missed
Yeah,
it.
no, that I
But like
dropped
pretty
that one.
boy toy, you're in it. I think.
No.
I'm about to just take this off and just wear the wife pleaser underneath.
No, you look cute.
Wife pleaser.
Ashley's roasting you while she's wearing.
Yeah, you're
That.
looking what crusty? What's the word?
just kidding. I'm just
Chugi,
kidding, Ashley.
I
Croquet?
specifically asked you about
I'm
this
just
shirt
kidding.
because I was
I know,
insecure
that's why I
about
said
it.
I'm so
Ashley,
sorry.
we are kidding.
Oh,
I'm so
fully.
sorry.
my
You look
God.
very
Ashley,
cute.
Ashley, it looks
Should
so
I go
good.
change?
No, you look
No.
like it's like okay.
I am wearing this. I have been wearing this shirt for 7 full days, so maybe I should change.
Okay, seriously, why do
It
you think
wasn't
that
dirty
that shirt
before.
is so bad? Like, what? I don't understand. It's
I don't
She
know.
thinks
This
it
is
might
my
be too like
this
she's
is my full
trying
outfit.
to look younger than she is, or she's trying to dress for a generation that she's not a part of, which I don't think is true. I think you can dress however you want. I think the fear. Have you ever seen like a 40-year-old man who's got like Justin Bieber hair, a goatee, and like a baseball cap?
yes.
And you're like, dude, you're 40. Like you can't Like,
Yeah.
please don't dress like that. That's like chuggy, and I think that's what Ashley is afraid
that's
of.
the word.
Yes, that's deeply what I'm afraid of.
When that's not at all what's
Oh,
happening.
no, man.
No.
Am I going to get a community guideline violation? It's in review. It's in fucking review.
What's the actual?
On
What's the
TikTok?
video about?
So the joke, well, there's two sections. One joke is that I censored it because I said suck, so I censored. So I think that should be fine. Meanwhile, Matt Rife is out here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I did was like, this woman is, they let it through. Okay. This woman is like really excited. Honestly, this is one of the greatest clips I've ever made. I love it so much. This woman and her mom and her trans son, so grandma, mom, kid, trans son, are all at this show. And I'm asking the kid, I was like, I couldn't quite tell. I didn't know if he was trans, but I was like, what are you doing here? Are you gay? Like, why did you bring these guys? And he was like, I'm trans. And then his mom goes, yeah! And then starts standing up and cheering for him. And then I bring her on stage. And the thing that I said that I thought I might get a violation about is I sarcastically, I was like, fuck your trans son. We got an ally mom. Come on stage. Like, I brought the mom on stage.
Yeah,
And then she just started chanting, like, I love my
Does
trans.
TikTok care about trans people now? Is TikTok
it
going
would
to defend
accuse
trans people
me
now?
of transphobia.
Yeah.
Is what it would do. Even though the rest of the video is her celebrating her.
It's not gonna be like it's not gonna read into the nuance of your joke. It's just gonna take the words that you said.
Yes,
And,
and
like,
because I
flag
am
them.
a gay woman who yells, they're just gonna they have a higher threshold or lower threshold for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
We watched me and the GF, me and
Main Babes Jr.
and MBJ, me and MBJ.
MBJ.
We watched the
My favorite
clip.
president.
She should be president, honestly. We watched the clip of you when you invited someone up on stage and she did a joke.
That was
yes.
so
It was
cute.
so heartwarming.
Ashley, that was
I
like one of my
oohing
favorite
and
clips you've ever
awing
posted.
Out loud. Yeah.
Aw, that's nice. She
It was
really
so
cool.
good.
I told her she's got to start. She's got to start comedy.
That was seriously like one of the best clips you've ever posted because it really highlighted who you actually are and not your stage character.
Yes.
Like you
that's
are
very
somebody
sweet.
that goes out of
That's
your way to
true.
try and nudge people a little bit, push them to do things that they're maybe scared of and like give them a chance.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
you used your time on stage in front of these people to give someone an opportunity to do something.
Mac, you're explaining this so well. I should stop interrupting you.
I was just thinking about like if you had been that person and like you had been given that experience at the same time
That's
you
why
gave
I
them
did
that
it. I posted
I
the
knew it.
list.
I fucking knew it.
There's a long version
a
on my
great clip.
There's a long version on my YouTube where I explain why I did it.
Like, Ashley, I was watching that. I like had my hand over my heart. I was going, oh my God. And I hadn't been able to put into words exactly why I emotionally reacted to it so strongly. But it's exactly what Mac just said is I'm like, yes, this is the Ashley we know.
Yeah,
like-
I'm crying.
It was so good. It was
and
so
like
good.
not to
no
stop
one ever
hyping you
helped
up, but
me.
also kudos to them for
Oh yeah, she did a great job.
they
Yes.
did a great job. Like I
Crush
was
that.
like, I'd be shitting myself if that was me. And I didn't watch it with my hand over my heart. I think I was like peeing, but I watched
I
it
do a
go
lot of things with my hand over my heart, though. So,
Alayna just existing,
yeah.
ready for the national anthem. Oh, she's Canadian.
No, that's not where I'm going. That's not where I'm going with that.
Gay
Okay,
national
Ashley.
anthem is just a first-time gay comedian doing a joke about her local culture.
And she crushed it.
She did crush it.
Question about your like operations going forward in terms of like having an editor do your clips. Can I ask a business thing, or do people not care about it? I think they
I don't
do.
know.
I think they're interested.
I don't know. Listener,
So-
write in. Or do you care about
Yeah,
this?
listener, do you care? Let us know.
Do you even care, listener?
You said last week that you're bringing an editor on to now take over and do these clips that you've been doing for
Yeah.
years this whole time. How are you going to like indicate to them, do you know, so you record the whole show, right?
Yeah,
Are
this
you
has
then
been-
passing off the entire
It's been a problem-solving process.
Yeah, because how are you gonna
Yeah,
Are you
it's
gonna
really
send
tough
them the
because
full hour
what
every
people
time?
don't realize is I do 5 hours of shows every weekend.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of content.
So are you gonna like market or how?
For the past 3 weeks or 2 weeks, Pierce, my new editor, has been going through my backlog and watching hours and hours of my footage and starting to learn my routine a little bit so that he can watch it on a higher speed, marking things, basically creating unedited chunks of sections of crowd work. And then he sends them to me and I'm like, this is not going to go viral. This will go viral. This is not going. And through that process, he is learning like what goes viral. And then what I've been doing is then from that, I've been clipping them down. The past 4 or 5 clips, I've been clipping them down myself. And he's coming in tomorrow and then we're going to clip them down. The next ones, we're going to clip them down together.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of be doing that together for the next few weeks. And then when he's finally ready, he's gonna like a bird off into the. But I think it'll always be somewhat collaborative.
Yeah.
It is like you and your likeness. So
Yeah. And it's like more of a. It's
You have to
less
have the
clear
eye.
cut than a
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
or a like a YouTube video vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we're going to just kind of be doing it slowly and together for a while. Patreon.com/chosenfamilypod.
Yeah. Chosen Family podcast.
Podcast. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know if that was boring, but
No, I
yeah.
think, no. I mean, I think it's really interesting. So
Like
I wonder-
knowing
Oh,
what.
also, you have to introduce who you are, and
Oh, I'm your dad.
that's Ashley Gavin. That's your father. I'm Alayna Joy. I'm your mom.
I'm Mac. I'm hot teenage brother.
A baby. Okay, sorry,
brother.
Ashley. Continue.
There are better ways to get the answers you want and the medical care you deserve than through random searches on the internet. On ZocDoc, finding the doctor that's right for you is seamless. The quality care you need is just a few taps away in the ZocDoc app. You know, I have a lot going on with my health. I'm always looking for a new doctor that can take care of my latest joint pain. And with ZocDoc, I know I'm getting a good one. I can find a high-quality doctor with great reviews quickly. When you're not feeling your best and just trying to hold it together, finding great care shouldn't take up all your energy. That's where ZocDoc comes in. Using their free app, you can find the right doctor that meets your needs and fits your schedule. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. Go to ZocDoc.com/chosen and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/chosen. That's ZocDoc.com/chosen.
Oh, because that first like 10 seconds is like so critical.
Yeah.
I don't know how because Mac, you go super viral.
Bro.
Tell us
What?
more.
What's wrong?
Tell us.
I just like, I don't know. I can't predict TikTok as well as he.
The algorithm's
Back in
really
my
bad
day.
right now. Are you doing long clips? Because right now long clips are really going for me.
That's what I've heard.
My clips have to be 3 minutes or they don't go. And the
Dead
ones that are
ass,
3
I've
minutes
just
are
been
all
not posting. Like, I really just haven't
Fine.
been posting a ton. I've been posting like once a week. I'm starting to get back into it now, but
focus on YouTube and Instagram. That's what I do when I'm like,
yeah.
I'm obsessively checking my TikTok right now. I apologize. You guys
That's
know how
okay.
this goes.
Mac, what's going on that you're posting like one a week? Where you're because you sound like that's
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been having like mental health stuff and like been not enjoying having a platform lately besides the podcast. So it just, I feel like I've been like that for a while though.
like
I
in a
don't know.
burnout way or in a creativity block or like what's
kind of in a burnout way. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. I feel like every time I talk about it, it comes across as me complaining, and I
Mac,
don't want to complain. I know I'm like
Shut
really
up.
lucky, but
we're
You're
asking
allowed to complain.
and we're
You
asking
are allowed to complain. There's a difference between someone with a negative fucking attitude who complains all the time and venting. And you are the former.
so shut up.
So shut your fucking mouth, bitch.
There's a difference between complaining and talking about how something is impacting you.
to your friends
Yeah.
and the general public.
And hundreds of thousands of other people, potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much longer I can do this stuff. I don't think this career path is for me. Besides, like, this podcast. I don't know. I can't do it. I don't want to cry, but...
No, it's okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to cry. I don't want to cry. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to cry. I can't talk
I think
about it 'cause
crying
I
would
think
be
I'm gonna
great
cry.
for views, which might be why you don't want to do this. But if you did cry, I think it would be good
Mac,
for
if
you
you could
and
just
for
like ham it
views.
up a little bit, like maybe we could like see a tear or two fall.
Mac, you're allowed to cry.
You're allowed to have emotions.
I cry on almost every episode we do. Have you guys not noticed this?
Yeah,
have,
but you cry
but in, like,
like
a
when you
lovely way.
cry. It's like a cool mask cry. When I cry, it's like a baby. Like
It
No,
doesn't
no.
matter, and it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I can't. Not in this shirt.
I think you're having. I think
I
you're
was looking
having
for a short
valid
joke, too.
response to a really difficult industry, and like if you're questioning your place in the job that you're doing, that's completely natural, and I think could only be helpful to talk it through with two people who are right there
Who are
with
also
you.
doing it,
We're
yeah.
doing the same ish job. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna be the ones to get it. Talk to us. Tell us what's
I don't even know like how to put it into words. I just like I don't want to be my brand. Like I want to make things for people.
Yeah.
And I've said this before on the podcast and like make things that help young queer kids, but I'm struggling because like I don't want that to be me anymore. And when I was getting into it and like learning about it, I was like telling my story helps, doing this helps. But now I'm at a place where I'm just like I feel like every area of my life gets deconstructed and criticized or just like
By the
torn
public.
apart by the public, like, and I need to not take it so personally, I know, because it's just the internet and that's what it is, but I just feel like I don't have any privacy anymore. Like I don't even my relationship, which is something that's private, people feel entitled to know. I feel like I can't even complain about this because I'm the one like putting stuff
No, of
out there.
course you
Like
can't
I don't.
It's not even complaining. You're sharing a real experience. You're sharing your thoughts and feelings. You're talking it through. It doesn't sound like complaining.
Well, it doesn't
promise.
sound like complaining, and I will also say some degree of this is your audience. Because
Yeah.
I know I have publicly bared my asshole to the world many, many, many times. I expect to get a laugh on that, but you two just were literally like,
No,
yes.
because
your whole asshole. Yes.
no,
Yes.
because I think
Yes.
I think part of it is the audience, but part of it is also like a difference in wanting. Like I'm really relating to a lot of the stuff that you're saying, Mac, because I understand that feeling of like I'm also at a point where I have over the past kind of year slowly moved my personal life more and more offline. Whereas like I used to share a lot about my story, my experience, my life. And I've really been trying to shift from that because it is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
To mine your trauma, your life, your experiences for content, and then to have people have their opinions, break it apart, like you were saying, pick apart your privacy. Yeah. It's mentally exhausting. So that's why I'm sitting here seriously, Ashley, because I'm like,
no.
it's one thing to
totally.
bare your asshole and be like, this is a part of my comedy. This is a part of my, look at my asshole.
Sorry, that's so rude. I said it. I laughed when Elena said it, and I didn't laugh when Ashley said
It is fucking rude.
it. was really fucking rude.
But the reason that I'm bringing up your audience is because I do think there is a world. Maybe you're just venting. Maybe you don't want solutions, which is I think a really helpful thing to say when you're talking to friends and family and loved ones, like
Wow, yes,
lovers
Ashley.
or whatever.
Oh, look, Ashley being thoughtful and compassionate and like a really good communicator.
But I'm just saying, like, if this is something, if you love storytelling and you love working online, I do think there's a universe where you can easily pivot your audience because you're performing for what you're doing is so mass consumption and also younger. So a lot of those, and I hate to, sorry guys, I'm just going to use this terminology. A lot of these people need to touch grass. Like they just need to not, they're chronically online and they're so projecting so much of what they're experiencing. And it's such a slim minority, but they're so loud in that group of people that I think while what you're experiencing is totally true and valid, I do think that like there is a solution with balance that doesn't mean you have to stop doing this entirely.
You're like
I
explaining the whole other side of my brain where, because like when I get hope in this scenario is when I think about what you're saying, where I'm like, I'm good at telling stories. Like I just need to pivot my content into doing, whether it's like higher production stuff or like, but then it gets to the point where the thought of that is so exciting. And then when I try to execute it, I get so overwhelmed. Like
I'm sending you a book right now. I'm
I
sending
have
you a
like
book
6
right now.
scripts right now that I'm like sitting on and I just can't.
Mac,
Like,
can you
I don't
text me
know,
your
I just
address?
can't touch them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's so
Because I'm like,
true
it's
and
always
real.
something. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like my mental health is in a place where even the slightest obstacle is enough to just shut me completely down. Like I can't, I get this really great idea and I almost feel, I don't want to say the word manic because I don't think that's correct, but I feel like very overwhelmed. Like I need to do this all
Vitalized,
right
yeah.
now, like get it done right now. And that'll be for like a day or something. And then the next day I'm like, okay, but this problem. And then I just give up and I'm like, and then I just keep doing what I'm doing, which I hate doing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
I need to go back to
yes.
therapy, guys.
You do, but also everything
Definitely.
you're saying makes perfect sense. I think it's a completely rational way to feel. My like dream brain solution is like, oh, imagine a world where this podcast was sustainable enough that this could be your like job portion, your financial portion, the thing that you do that's like your consistent content, where you could step back from the TikToks, from editing YouTube videos, maybe you hire an editor,
Yeah, definitely.
and create some space for you to be able to get off the like content machine to do something bigger, something different, experiment a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say, like, okay, I'm about to go like move out of content creation and into art because what I think you're describing is the same challenge that all artists or anyone who's trying to move on to like a higher plane with contributing meaning to society or even just a goal to like elevate themselves. Like the fear of the blank page is, I mean, it is so debilitating, and every monster in your entire life will surface to shut down your inspiration and your hope. And it's such an intense, horrible, dark resistance. I'm gonna send you my favorite book about creating art that was like so helpful for me and like
I love
so many
that.
people.
Yes.
Actually, I should send it to you too, Alayna.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna send it to you guys, and I don't want anyone to shit on it, so I'm not even gonna say the name of it. But it's so, I'm just gonna send it. It's so important to me, and
Okay.
what you're doing is like, you can look at it from an artist perspective, or you can look at it from a psychological perspective, where you're like, who am I to do this? Is basically the question that those monsters in your brain are responding to. Like it is really, really hard to like make space for yourself.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing in the entire world to make space for yourself and make the greatest possible thing that you can make. There's a lot, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You just have to practice punching those voices in the fucking face. Or just fully letting them inhabit the space while you're working. Because as you're working, they'll start to disappear.
Expose my full asshole.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Yeah. You just kind of have to do it.
Let
Yeah.
it be stinky, Linky.
Well, you just have to be okay with being bad. I'm also going to send you this Ira Glass video. Sorry, I'm sending you this.
Send it all.
That was so gross.
Oh,
You have
sorry,
to-
son.
You have to be okay with being bad. Like that's another piece of it.
Yeah.
You're kind of in a hard place because you're
Yeah,
so
'cause
good
you're
at
already
content
so
creation
good at the things you're doing. Yeah.
that now when you move into this other thing where you're gonna be bad at it at first,
It's like what you were saying at in the other episode where you were talking about when you've
Yeah.
already been so successful at something else, it's so hard to step into something that you know you're going to be bad at, or there's like a
Yeah.
learning curve with it.
yeah.
So,
It's
like, what are
tough.
the things? Can you give us a taste of something that would be a bigger project, or like that would be more of a dream? Like, I'm curious specifically what's the like dream move? What's the thing that lights you up?
No one's going to like steal my ideas, right?
No.
I don't know how much to say.
Also, ideas are cheap. Execution is expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Who's
Okay.
gonna? Yeah.
And if you do, I will literally hunt you down and I will destroy you. I'll source this clip from this podcast where I'm saying my idea and show the date with the receipts of when I said it, and then you'll get in some kind of trouble.
Cease
Oh,
and
yeah, you will.
desist.
Was that so scary?
Well, the shirt.
Hard to
might
take
have been,
anything you're
but-
Well,
saying
yeah,
seriously
sweetheart, there
with
is
that
the shirt. I had this one idea and I had some like outlines written for it because I couldn't write like a full script, but something that I thought of like a year and a half ago that I really, really wanted to do was start putting together these short form, almost like short films of just examples of queer stories of coming out. And I wanted each one to be surrounded by a very specific experience, and literally the entire story is just like, this is what this experience is like for this person coming out, and like, look how different it is in this scenario, in this situation. Because I think it's really important to have media that stretches out past that and shows just normalcy with queer people. But there's also, like, I can even think of somebody like my girlfriend as an example who has a very different culture and a different ethnicity, and her experience is completely different than mine, and everybody's experience is so unique, but there's just different things that play into it that are so different but that a group of people can still relate to. And so I thought it would be so cool to like shed light on the different experiences in that, and maybe like show people, hey, this is what it's like for somebody with a similar experience to you to come out. This is what it looked like for them, and it's not going to be the same, but like maybe you can find some comfort in this. That's just an example of like a series that I thought about putting together. And I had this other series idea where I literally this is kind of just like a funny one. I literally just wanted to recreate really famous rom-com scenes, but make them like with queer people, make them with trans
so
people,
fun.
make them with like,
yes.
literally just recreate it shot for shot. I'm not writing it. It's like a replica of this.
Yes.
But like, that is so fun to watch as a queer person. That is so fun to just observe. Like the fucking shitty water scene in The Notebook, but it's gay. That's so fun to consume.
That's so doable, Mac. That's like
these
so
are
I know
doable.
it's doable.
ideas.
I literally have like the scripts written down and like outlines and like everything I need for
The
production.
first one's
and,
a
like,
little harder, I think, but
It's much harder.
The second one is so easily done.
Well,
Yeah.
this
Not
literally
easily,
is
but
the same.
you know what I'm
I
saying.
feel like for all three of us, we have had the exact same conversation over the past month or so, episode by episode, with Ashley putting out her special, me
Yeah.
going back to school, and now you. Each of us is needing to commit to creating more time in our schedule. Of course you're feeling stuck. Of course you're feeling like you can't take those first steps. That's a huge, starting a new project, a new anything is a huge undertaking. When you're still trying to create weekly YouTube videos, 4 times a week TikTok content, this podcast, doing all your own editing, whatever else it is that you're doing, which I'm sure it's 10,000 things behind the scenes. You gotta create the space
Yeah.
to do the thing, the next thing. Yeah. I
Just
believe
make
Like
one.
a season finale right now.
I think just make one. Just
Yeah.
commit to making one of them. You don't even have to commit to putting it out. You just
Right?
have to start. You literally just have to start.
Yeah. Don't they say
so
starting
hard.
is like the hardest part? The
Yeah.
hardest step
It's exactly.
is starting, or 50%
Once you're
of the
moving-
battle, or whatever they say.
Once you're moving, it's going to be a lot easier.
Right.
You got to do it.
Thanks, guys.
I want to say anything. Can you do a say anything?
What's that?
What is
Holding up the stereo?
I haven't seen that, but sure.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh my God, this is heartbreaking. Chuggy millennials, write in, say anything. God. He holds up the
You
stereo.
expecting people to write in under that title? Hi,
do want them to.
Chugi Millennial here.
Actually, say anything. Say anything is a movie. I think an '80s movie. And He holds up the stereo underneath her window and is playing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but like I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Can we
same.
talk
can
about
fuck
you guys?
off.
I just like took over that entire episode.
No, you
You
barely
did not,
took over.
Mac. I
Although
feel
we
like
should
you
go
have
to a
barely
question
spoken
probably.
in like 3 weeks. So this is great. You owe us some airtime.
I've been angsty teen for the
I
past
know.
like 3 weeks.
That's okay. And now it's your like yellow sweater or yellow whatever that is.
This damn shirt brings out the worst in me. Damn it.
Should we take a question?
Yes.
Let's do it. We prioritize questions from our patrons, patreon.com/chosenfamilypodcast.
Yeah, good. There's also bonus episodes over there, like full episodes that only our patrons have access to. There's ad-free episodes, as well as, a private Discord where we take questions from. This person says, 21-year-old virgin here. I have a difficult time when it comes to intimacy. It takes me a while to trust someone physically and emotionally, and I only just started to not feel embarrassed about it. I know that I'm not asexual. I'm definitely a lesbian/queer, but I also get concerned that I'll never find someone that I trust enough to fully engage in sex. Not quite sure what my question is, but maybe just looking for general advice how to navigate this. So much love for y'all. The general question is that this is someone who's 21, has never had sex, knows that they want to, but is afraid that they'll never trust someone enough to engage fully.
Okay.
I think is what they said. Yeah, fully engage in sex.
And they're not in a relationship.
Doesn't say, but I assume not, because they don't mention a partner. They say that they know that they're not asexual.
Yeah,
Definitely know that they're lesbian/queer.
Man,
That's hard. I feel like the closest I've ever
I
been
want
to that
some
is
background.
like it's a hard question to answer. My first girlfriend, I had a lot of trouble like letting her do things to me as opposed to me doing things to her. Like it took a while for me to let her do that. Mm-hmm. That's like the closest that I feel like I can relate to that. But I feel like when you find a person that you're able to slowly start trusting, and like you just have to start working on those things and like attacking little checkpoints or like little goals and just trying things, and you
Well,
have to find the right person for that though.
Finding somebody that you know that you can tell ahead of time, hey, this is something I've never
Yeah.
done before. I feel, fill in the blank. I feel nervous. I feel anxious. I feel unsure or whatever. Saying, I really want to be clear that, or being in a situation where you know that at any point you can say, I'd like to stop. I'd like to take a break. Someone that you can say, please go slowly with me. I'm nervous. I'm new. I don't know what I like, whatever it is. Just being able to communicate those things is the first piece. But then obviously there's a lot of individual things that are going to be unique to you, like questions, deeper questions around like, where does the fear come from?
Yeah.
What's the
sounds like
root of
therapy
that?
would be very helpful, I
Yes,
think.
therapy, yeah.
But I'm also like curious what level we're speaking to, because I think the advice is going to be a little bit different. I
Totally.
think, are you afraid of I'm saying this, I don't mean to sound pejorative, but like, are you afraid of kissing, or
Yeah.
is it like sex? You know what
They
I mean?
said fully
Depending on-
sex.
fully
I'm
sex.
I'm concerned that I'll never find someone I trust enough to fully engage in sex.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think what Alayna said, you really need to find a good, loving partner that you can communicate that you would like to take things slow. That's like the number one thing, for sure. But I think also, like, if this is something you want to do, but something is holding you back, that indicates to me introspection is required.
And maybe it's helpful to hear that there's nothing wrong with going slow, because I think sometimes people feel a pressure to like, well, I want to have
Definitely.
sex, and the person I'm with is also going to expect these things of me, and not knowing that there are so many people out there that I would argue the majority of people, especially queer women, that all they want is for both people to have a good time, feel safe.
Totally.
If you are
I'll
with
also
someone that's
say-
worth your time, then they will be more than willing to wait and go at your pace.
I'll also say this might be counterintuitive, but it might actually be better if this is a long-term hooking up situation than a girlfriend.
Right.
Because it might take some of the pressure off. If
Right.
you can find someone that you are attracted to, that you connect with emotionally, but not necessarily someone you're in love with, maybe like a really cool friends with benefits situation, that might be a person who there's less weight on how fast it goes and how much you're doing and the expectations and is this going to work out, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
You're not fearing a breakup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a good hookup
yes.
buddy can be a great thing for this period of your life. I had one not long ago that was so fun to try different things with and who I just was not emotionally available, and she was just great she was like a really good friend that I was also having sex with once a week.
See, and I'm imagining like if I was dating, right? And I met someone who said to me, "Hey, I've never had sex before. I'm actually really nervous." Like, let's say we're at that point where we're kissing or something, whatever. And like, we know that that's kind of where it's headed at some point in our interactions. And the other person says to me that XYZ is something they've never done before, but they want to try it, but they're really nervous. Can we set some boundaries or whatever the conversation is? I would be so excited and like honored to share that with that person. Like, I would be like, of course.
Yeah, I'd love to be this person too, honestly.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like, I feel like queer women would generally overall be very excited to try and make you feel safe and cared for and taken care of.
It's like you're giving someone the honor of like being able to protect you and kind of
Yeah.
walk you through that. And that's a really good feeling for a lot
Yes.
of people, I think.
Yeah.
And
it's
I
going
would
to be
have
tough
no-
with your age too, I will say.
What?
Like, I think because this person is 21, I will
Right.
say, like, take your time with it, because as you get older, people
Yeah.
are going to be more I know it feels like, oh my God, I'm never going to have sex, but like, don't rush it, because I think people tend to be a little more understanding, a little more secure in themselves
That's
as
true.
they age. So like, you know, like I can almost imagine dating someone older might be kind of helpful for this. Don't go anywhere outside of your comfort zone. But I just have a feeling that if you're 21, if you hooked up with a 26-year-old, they're going to approach it far more
Right.
more understanding than a 19-year-old
Yeah.
who is also worried about their own coming out fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know. People are always like groomer, but I actually think
Yeah, Ashley, are people always
Are they
calling
always
you that?
like how
They're all,
often?
why are these kids
Like,
always
how
saying
often?
groomer to me? Just cause I look, you just turned 18, all right? Why are you calling me a groomer? These fucking kids. No, what I'm saying is, like, I see a lot of perfectly reasonable age gap relationships on the internet, and people are like, that's creepy. And I'm about cancel me. I don't give a shit. In gay relationships, I actually think that hooking up with someone a little bit spicy older can be huge. When I think about like being in college, the idea of dating someone out of college with more experience than me to like teach me, and like I can have like an experience with someone who's comfortable and knows the ropes and yada yada yada, that can be like a really beautiful thing specific to the queer community that doesn't happen in the straight world. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying?
I do. I don't know that that's our advice to this person.
No.
That just sounds
I'm
like
on
a mommy
tangent.
kink to me.
I'm on a tangent.
But I'm fully on board.
Ashley's on a tangent.
I'm on a MILF tangent, as I often am.
Mac, you were
yes.
saying something. Not to Ashley. You're
Don't
MILF.
gaslight me right now. I need some
Groomer.
support from my family. I need family
No,
support.
we support you. We support you. I am
okay that you're a
genuinely just
groomer.
curious. Mac, was it you were going to say something about you? You were going to say something about your experience
What?
in this before the MILF kink. You were going to say something about I know my.
I can't remember, but I can't talk about my MILF kink.
Please.
But I need to go put on my I Heart Hot Moms t-shirt that my girlfriend got for me.
You are not changing out of that yellow.
I'm
yellow
going back
Easter
to my
shirt.
MILF tangent for a moment
Oh,
here.
we're back to the
Guys,
milk tangent.
I'm
Okay.
not saying that you, a 17-year-old, should date a 56-year-old. That's
No.
not what I'm saying.
No.
I
That's
just
what
don't
I heard, though.
Yeah, that's what I fear people hearing. But like,
Yeah.
you know, like a little fling with someone 7, 8 years older than you, if you're like 20, I don't think that's the end of the world. And I'm tired of people being like, grammar. I'm just sick of it. It's so stupid.
I keep thinking you're saying grammar every time you say it, and I'm like, grammar.
MILF kink, recognize MILF kink.
There is something like kind of cool about that part of the gay community.
Being
That's all.
nurtured?
Being nurtured, yes, and comforted, and getting to be baby through a sexual experience. with-
Right, but you
know,
also don't need to go 7, 8 years older than you to have that experience.
I'm
If
throwing
you're
it-
having it, then wonderful. But
Ashley likes older women.
I actually really disagree. I think it's really hard as like a 21-year-old to meet a very
Sure,
thoughtful,
maybe- right, as a
experienced
21-year-old,
gay
maybe,
lover
yeah.
that you just want to hook up with. I'm not saying marry or move in with this person. I'm saying just want to hook up with. I would have loved that when I was 21.
right. I guess
what I'm
I'm
saying.
wondering if, yeah, well, sure.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, Mac.
I'm, like,
how does that
fully
sound
on
to you?
board.
Yeah.
Well, I am like the age that Ashley's talking about. That sounds fantastic, honestly. But
See, and I'm on the other side of it, and I'm like thinking about dating or sleeping with someone who's like 20, 21, and I'm like, oh, little
Yeah, well,
little
not
one.
dating. I don't think dating.
Oh, little
I think
one.
dating, that's not what I mean.
No.
I mean like hooking up.
that
Because I
would be
think that-
me being with someone that's 30.
Yeah. I think hooking up with is different. My number
That would
is
be me and Elena's ship. Finally. Setting off from the docks.
My number for me personally is 23. I will not hook up with anyone under 23.
Sup?
Because But I'm also 30. I'm also 35. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe if someone's 25, 26, 27, they might feel more comfortable hooking up with a 21-year-old. I don't know. But anyway. Should I dig this hole deeper or have I explained myself?
Should we throw in some 9/11 talk in there? We haven't mentioned 9/11 once.
If you are not f***ing a mom on the anniversary of 9/11, what are you doing?
no.
Alayna brought it up, not me.
depends on. Yeah, there's a lot of.
When I was
nuance
younger, I
there.
was
It's hard
like,
to
I
cover
want
generally.
a hot 28-year-old girlfriend. Like, I want an older girlfriend that's like total mommy vibes.
Yeah.
And then I fucking ended up with somebody younger than me. So
And then you were the groomer.
But anyway, yeah,
Sorry, I know,
Max a
touchy
groomer.
subject.
Oh, it's funny when Alayna says that Max a groomer. When Ashley's throwing around groomer,
why are we now calling me a groomer?
I'm a chuggy millennial groomer. That's what everyone says.
Oh, Ashley, did I hurt you? Did I like get on your
No.
nerves for real?
No.
Okay.
I just want people to have total clarity about what I'm saying because it can be somewhat.
I think you're saying that it's not as black and white as people just putting in a flat out ban
Within
on,
the
like,
queer community, especially.
Yeah, right.
Because there's no queer sex ed. There's so much queer history. There's so
Right.
much in finding yourself. It's just not the same. It's just not hooking up with an older guy or woman when you're straight is like a totally different vibe than when
Yeah.
you're doing it as a queer person.
I definitely think that as long as it's a friendly lesbian, you should be okay.
and not an asshole showing her whole asshole on stage.
But going back to this person, yeah, maybe better. I would also keep it as light as possible. That's why I think it
Yeah.
might be better out of a relationship, unless this person really aligns with you and they're on the same sort of timeline. Then maybe within a relationship, it's okay. I think you could have a lot of heaviness if it's within an important relationship.
I do see that. Like I don't think I would have thought of that perspective before you
I
said
didn't
it,
think
but
of
like
that at all.
the thought of kind of having something be casual almost feels counterintuitive, but I think it could be really helpful. Finding somebody who is, one, so respectful of those things that make you nervous or things that you've never done before, things that you're new to, or that you're hesitant about but want to try. Finding someone who's so respectful of those things and makes you feel so safe. Like just the other day, me and oh my god, this
MG
why is it so
MBJ.
hard? MBJ. That means it's not a good nickname if it's so hard to think of every time.
Yeah.
Well, me and my girlfriend, literally just the other day, I was like,
Junior. We can just call her Junior.
me and Junior. Ooh, that sounds.
That's
Now
really
who's the
cute.
groomer? Then I would be the groomer. Where like I was like weird. I was laughing because I was like, remember when this made me so uncomfortable? And she was like, oh my god, yeah, that's funny to think back to. You know, like you can find somebody who makes you feel so safe that like you do explore those things together, and then it becomes it can be a beautiful experience for you.
Totally.
That made a lot of sense.
Well, we did it. We're done.
We did it, and we actually answered one question, and we introduced the podcast before the 3-minute
Sub
mark.
three.
Sub three. Sub 3, question 1.
Full bonus episodes at patreon.com/Chosen Family Podcast. You get your question prioritized at Chosen Family. Nope. Patreon.com/Chosen Family Podcast.
What did we have for dinner?
Yeah, what did we have for dinner?
What did we talk about?
Death row meals. This felt like the season finale, the end to a new beginning.
I was going to say we
What?
had like Easter eggs or something, but
Easter eggs. Why Easter
for
eggs?
Mac's shirt.
Don't say because of my shirt.
Ah, yes. It does look like we got McDonald's after church.
This is not a McDonald's yellow.
If anyone's going to
I'm not saying
understand
that,
this
I'm just saying
reference,
it's a
Listener,
special
if
day.
you
We
want
went to
my shirt,
Smitty's.
write in because I'll
Mac-
be getting rid of it.
Mac, you sat still at church. You sat still and you did
I used
so
to actually
well.
cry
and now
at
you
church.
get a little treat.
So now we're going to go get you some chicken nuggets at
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Or
No?
whatever you want. A Happy Meal?
What do you want?
I want
You
to
want a
leave
shake?
church.
You want a McFlurry? We're leaving. You want a McFlurry?
We're leaving. We're headed out.
We're on our
Relax.
way, sweetie.
I want to talk about grooming.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna end, but can I say something really quick based
Yeah.
on a comment I saw?
Yeah.
We were talking about like
Sounds
I
healthy.
said like Christians write out on the last episode, and there were some Christians that were like, "I'm Christian and queer." I understand you can be Christian and queer. I think that's a great thing if you are queer and you have held on to your religion or your spirituality and it is helpful to you or it's great or whatever. But I also think, and there were a lot of Christians that are saying what I'm about to say. It is also, I believe, your responsibility to acknowledge that that has been really harmful for a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah.
And so making jokes about that is like, you know, working through it. It's making light of something that was harmful. And your religion's completely valid, but I do think that people in religion have a responsibility to also be self-aware enough to acknowledge that, you know,
I think
that hurt people.
Yeah.
I think when we die, you're done.
So.
That's it.
I thought I would get a laugh on that, but I have just been bombing.
No, you're not bombing. I think we're just for
Full
some reason we're just
9/11
like
bombs.
in a serious
Full
mood.
9/11
Like,
bombing.
We've been in a serious mood today. I'm not sure why.
It's
Well, I've been
because
trying
Trump's
to make
being
groomer
arrested
jokes
today.
and
I
that's
know.
true.
This country's going down the damn drain today.
I'm
God
sorry
damn
that we
it.
haven't laughed at your jokes, Ashley. We love,
You're funny,
love you,
Ashley.
and you're obviously
No.
the czar of comedy.
Wait, speaking of grooming, can I tell you about a joke that I wrote about Christianity?
Everyone's going to be so excited that we're pushing this episode. They're going to be like, we're getting them to make it longer.
Yeah, Ashley, tell us.
Quick joke about grooming, and then we got to do admin. Elena's hot for admin, and then
I'm
I have to
hot
jump
for
right
admin.
at 4. But I have this joke about I read the section of the Bible where the angel Gabriel comes down very Harvey Weinstein style as God's assistant, being like to Mary, like, hey, God wants to fuck. And I read it and I break it down, and it's different in different versions of the Bible, but there's just no scenario that Mary gives a hard, clear, enthusiastic yes. What she says is, I'm a servant to the Lord. Some versions she says, I'm a slave of the Lord.
Yeah.
So it's like very, like, also is if we live in a like, if God has determined the outcome of everything, can she even, like, choose whether or not she's going to have sex with God? But that being said, even if it was a clear and enthusiastic yes, Mary's like 12 years old. Mary is 12 years old.
Really?
And God is a billion. There is a major age gap between these two.
Talk
That
about
even-
grooming.
Yeah, talk about grooming. Like, what? Mary just wants to.
What?
Actually, there's no universe that Mary is 18. There is no universe where Mary is 18.
Yeah, that's true. Because we're supposed to believe that she's been married and like hasn't had a baby yet with Joseph, and is also
Right.
18. Like, no.
Yeah. No,
No.
and even just like based on the times, she was like an actual child, like a teenager.
Right.
So there's that.
So like, we're not that bad, is what we're saying.
What I'm saying is get your MILF on.
Your MILF
MILFs
on.
are like fucking God.
Get your
You
MILF
want to
on.
touch
Can't
God?
be as bad as God.
Get your MILF on. Okay. Should we do admin?
Yeah, thanks for listening,
Thanks
everybody.
for listening.
Every Wednesday, you pieces of shit.
See you next week.
We love groomers. Bye.
Chosen Family is a Forever Dog production, hosted by Ashley Gavin, ALAYNA Joy, and Mac INGEMI. Edited by Danny Jewell, executive produced by Mariah Nicholas. Forever Dog Productions is Joe Cilio, Alex Ramsey, and Brett Boehm.
Forever